Hi, I'm Des O'Neill and I want to welcome you to the Winning Firm Workshop. If you're ready to double your income and halving your stress, this is the place to be. This is the third video in the series and it's about your practice management blueprint. I think you're really going to like this one. Now, if you missed the first two videos in the workshop, I highly recommend that you stop this one now and go back and look at them. They're up here just above my head. Just press play. They really are required viewing for anyone who wants to take their accountancy business to the next level. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for the emails and comments we've gotten from accountants in relation to our first two workshops. It really makes me feel excited and grateful at the same time when people get value from what we do. I really want you to get value here. So if you haven't watched part 1 and 2 of the workshop, go back and watch them now and I'd still be here waiting for you. This part of the workshop is about next steps. You see, I really want you to have a bigger vision for your future. And the way to get there is by taking action. I'm going to walk you forward in your firm using our Winning Firm blueprint, making that your practice management blueprint. Now look, there's a lot in here, but please don't be intimidated by it. The blueprint is about setting out the steps, and then it's just a question of following those steps, one step after another, following the path and taking real ownership of your business and everything in it. Now, the other thing I want to say to you is I'm going to keep this moving today. Obviously, I can't go deep on every point. This is just a short workshop, but I want to show you the pathway. In my first video, I talked about building a simple firm growth pipeline by systemizing your approach to referrals. In the second part of the workshop, we looked at how pricing can transform your business and boost profitability. And in this session, I'm going to share with you the full behind-the-scenes operation behind our own business and accountancy firms that we work with. This is about sharing processes, steps, strategies, tactics that you can apply to 10x your business and create a profitable, rewarding, and sustainable firm. You see, my core belief is simply this: accountants can and do change lives. And I get up every morning to bring accountants the tools, the advice, the training, so that accountants can create outstanding businesses for themselves and then for their clients too. You see, this is my way of changing the world, lives, and the communities we live in. And I'd love to do that together with you. Okay. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you've downloaded the practice management blueprint, your Winning Firm blueprint, over here beside me. First of all, I'm going to do a helicopter view, and then we're going to drill down into certain areas. Have your practice management blueprint in your hand so you can follow along with us. You see, here is your whole business in a nutshell. We start with strategy. Then we have the 4 pillars of your business. Marketing, which includes the component parts of marketing, products and services, price, and sales. The second pillar, operations and technology. The third pillar, people and leadership. The fourth pillar, finances. That's it. They're the 4 pillars that drive you and your business. Either they're balanced and working and serving your purpose, or they're not. Now, once we have a strategy, it's about getting it done and implementing. I just love the Richard Branson quote here. Building a business, it's not rocket science. It's about having a great idea and seeing it through with integrity. Implementation and follow through. This is what's really, really important. But that's where this blueprint comes into play for you, because it gives you a step-by-step playbook that you can follow. Now, of course, firms face all different types of challenges, and firms are at different stages on their journey. I did a program previously and they had 4 definitions of where businesses are at. So the definitions were startups, ramp-ups, scale-ups, and lead-ons. Now, startups, if you're a startup, you'll obviously need to have a strategic plan that will drive your progress. Your key focus as a startup here probably be in the areas of product, price, marketing, and sales, all included under the marketing heading in the blueprint. Finance underpins everything here, so no matter where you are in the journey, that's going to be critical. Ramp-ups. If you've gone beyond startup and are now ready to start ramping things up, strategy, marketing, and finance, they'll obviously never lose their position as cornerstones of your business, but now you're going to start building on those foundations, looking at operations technology, along with your people and leadership strategies. Scale-ups. If you've been around for a while and now you're on the verge of scaling up, you'll obviously need to explore new products and services while continuing to innovate both your sales and marketing, along with your operations and capacity. You can only scale successfully when you have stable foundations to build on, but now the key focus for scaling firms has to be people and leadership as the dynamic of your firm changes. Lead on. The secret to success at every stage of the journey is making incremental progress and gaining momentum. It is in the follow-through and the implementation that accomplishment will be realized. If you've reached the pinnacle, having gone through the stages of startup, ramp-up, scale-up, well, now it's about monitoring and managing the KPIs that make you a leader in your profession. You see, it's the same blueprint, but you may have slightly different focus and priorities to build the business you want. Well, what's the starting point here? The starting point of practice strategy, it's about building a winning organization. It's about having a personal strategy, starting with your why, starting with your purpose. You see, this is all about building winning organizations. And the beauty of building winning firms is that while most accountancy businesses do the same thing, every firm is unique in terms of what you, the firm owner, wants your business to look like. You see, I call it the winning firm. That's not about being the biggest firm. That's about you deciding the rules of your game and deciding how you want to play. We've got to look at things here like personal strategy. We've got to start stock taking your business, to develop that into a business strategy, wrapping the whole thing up into a strategic pack, which is like a map. You see, strategy is about taking stock of where you are and where your business is at the moment. It's about deciding where you want to go with it and then plotting a course from A to B, bringing you from where you are to where you want to go. For me, the key thing about strategy is aligning your personal values and what you want out of the business. You see, your personal values, this could be about creating freedom, more time, more money, more choice. We need to start with you. What's your purpose? What is it that you really want more than anything else in your life? What drives you? Maybe to ask the question, what dreams have you given up on over the years? What fire inside you do you want to rekindle? You see, once we have that fire stirring, the business part of the strategy is going to be easier. Personal strategy and purpose, it's a crucial step. And far too often, accountants discount it in terms of importance. You're the heart of your firm. Your firm firstly needs to give you what you want. And we need to plan for you to get what you really, really want out of your business. From there, we build our business strategy, looking at the component elements, the pillars of your business. Marketing, product, price, sales process, people, operations, systems, technology, leadership, finance. You see, your business model reflects what you want. We take stock of what we have, and are realistic about our current position, and then we build what we want. You see, not everybody wants to or needs to build a Big Four type firm. Winning businesses is about building better businesses, not just larger ones. My definition of a better business, this is a business where we're building better relationships. We build better businesses by doing good work, making a difference for our clients, and everybody making some money and having some fun along the way. Surely that's what business should be about. Having gone through personal strategy, having stock taken where we are, looked at business strategy, we pull it all together now in a documented strategy pack that's going to guide us on our journey. From the strategy, we move into the 4 core pillars of your business: marketing, operations, people and leadership, and finances. They drive everything. You see, this is what you do on a daily basis, and this is how you do what you do on a daily basis. The first thing here is to get really honest with yourself. We all have strengths and weaknesses. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Like, which one of these pillars, marketing, operations, people and leadership and finance, is your weakness? Now, obviously, finance and reporting for profit underpins everything you do. So if this is weak, we need to address it. Many firms win new clients, but they do not necessarily have a systematic way of achieving the result. What's your client attraction approach? Accountancy. It's a business where we tend to do the same thing day in, day out. Our operations, our processes, our systems, they need to be optimized so that we are operating as effectively as possible. Let's go deeper here and let's dive into marketing. Now, marketing, this is a huge area, and the potential impact on your business is even bigger. I want to hit a few of the key points here. The most impactful thing you can do from a marketing perspective, and you can do this right now today, is to define your ideal client. Like, think of all of your existing clients. Think of your ideal clients, your all-star clients. What are their attributes? What's their personality? What are their characteristics? Like, who do you really like dealing with? And what do they do and what do they not do? What we need to do here is to create a client avatar. A client avatar is a description of what a fictional ideal client would look like. Now, once we've got to what our ideal client looks like, well, then maybe we need to look at our existing clients. Now, back in the second video in the workshop, I talked about grading your clients, and I gave you a client classification matrix to do this. If you haven't seen that part of the workshop, you really need to go back and look at it. It's up here above me. Once you've classified your clients, we need to assess our existing client base. Do we have any bad clients that are driving out good clients? Marketing is the home of the 6 core self-promotion strategies. Now, there are 3 that I believe here are compulsory, and they're networking, direct outreach, and referrals. In part 1 of this workshop, we went deep on referrals. Again, if you haven't seen that, you really should go back and look at it. The 3 optional self-promotion strategies for professional service firms are speaking, writing, and the web. Now, some of you are probably horrified. How can the web be an optional strategy? Well, you see, I believe having a basic standard brochure style website is a basic credibility builder. And I believe if you're serious about building your firm, you should have a professional website. But when I talk about web strategies, I'm talking about more advanced SEO, social media campaign strategies, and the advanced plays. They work and can be excellent. But you see, you need to pick and choose here. Out of these 3 optional strategies, speaking, writing, the web, you need to pick the ones which work best for you. Are you a natural born writer? Is speaking your thing? Maybe not. Remember this though, when it comes to web strategies, you may choose to adopt them. You don't need to know everything about everything. Web strategies, this is stuff that can be outsourced. Sometimes instead of asking, how will I succeed? You might want to ask yourself the question, who can help me succeed? Web strategies, definitely something that we can look at the who, and it doesn't have to be you. Now, let's go back here to our compulsory strategies. Networking, direct outreach, and referrals. Well, we've touched on referrals. I want to talk about networking here for a minute. This is about building a networking strategy that adds value all around, rather than being schmoozy. Some people think, networking is about, it's about schmoozy. Modern networking is not necessarily about attending local Chamber of Commerce events. We can now network online, which opens up a whole world of opportunities if you're not necessarily interested in physically pressing the flesh. I believe that your networking strategy should focus 50-50 on clients and other professionals. So in other words, it's not all about clients and potential clients. See, by networking with other professionals, it gives you the opportunity to connect, to share resources, knowledge and information. And by networking with other professionals, it can be helpful for referrals too. You see, the basics of networking, it's ultimately about doing 3 things to add value to your network. It's about sharing who you know, sharing what you know, and sharing how you feel. A little like the referrals strategy, this can be explosive, and it's something that you really must look at. Okay, moving on to some of the other components of marketing, looking here at product, price, and sales. Firstly, on your products and services, look at what you're actually providing in terms of products and services. But then look at it from the customer's point of view. What do your clients really want? And what do they really need? And ask yourself the question, when customers are dealing with you, what are they buying? Like, why do they work with you? You see, there's a danger here. And the danger here is that as skilled, experienced professionals, we actually begin to believe that we know better than our clients as to what they want and need. Ask your clients what they want and need. Ask your potential clients for what they want and need. And then listen for the answer. You see, asking is the ultimate sales tool. As a firm, do you have a structured sales process? You see, it's very easy to create, and by structuring your sales conversations, it will enable you to get more consistent results. Your sales conversation needs to be about asking the right questions. It's about asking the potential client and truly understanding their wants and needs. You've looked at your services. Now when we meet potential clients, we ask the right question, we understand our clients, and then it's just a question of aligning your services with their needs and wants. Actually, you see, marketing and sales is not actually all about new clients. When we're here on this topic of asking, when was the last time you asked your existing clients? Asking your existing clients can produce spectacular results. And remember that the easiest sale is always additional services to existing clients rather than selling to new clients. The operations of accountancy firms. We're looking here at our systems, our workflow management, and our technology. Now, accountancy firms' core work involves doing the same thing over and over again. Bookkeeping, accounting, auditing, preparing financial statements. Repetitive work. But the advantage of that is this means that accountancy firms are ideal types of business to systemize their operations. Systemizing your firm involves looking at, well, what do we do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a monthly basis? And the first step of the process is to do almost a process audit, identifying, well, what are our operational processes? From there, we need to start mapping what happens. So what are the inputs, what's the process, and what's the outputs? You see, just even sitting down to capture everything that goes on in your firm, that's the first step. And from there, it's just a question of building up the individual activities step by step. You see, the benefit of documenting and systemizing your operations is that it's almost like a recipe for success. And the recipe for success, it's something that everybody who works in the business can contribute to and be part of. You see, this is the work that you can do to reduce reliance on high-level expertise and allow you to leverage your business. Every accountancy firm has one thing in common: quality control. Documenting your systems will allow you to improve your quality control, and you can factor in customer care improvement all at the one time. This can bring about a massive reduction in stress. You see, if you've got functional operational systems, we can now begin to go deeper into operational effectiveness and looking at concepts like lean management and scrum tactics for accountancy firms as to how work is done. Imagine easier deadlines. Now, there'll still be deadlines, but with better workflow management and better team management, less stress. Technology plays a huge part in here in operations. Technology changes fast, but as it changes, it opens up opportunities that we previously may not have considered. The use of virtual accountants, how you interact with your clients, automation of the basic everyday processes that accountants do are accessible to firms of all sizes now. They're no longer the preserve of the large firm. Now you see, all of these technological developments may be seen as a threat to the profession, but really it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to build a more flexible business model and a more client-centric business model. Less time in the trenches doing, more time serving the client. Because you see, the direct interactions, that's where the client sees the real value. They don't know what you do behind the scenes and they don't actually care. As with everything, we need to start from an operational perspective by looking at where we are before deciding what we want to get. So, people in leadership. Once you have people working with you, you need to have methodologies and approaches to lead your team. Good business relationships. They're about doing good work, making money, and having some fun along the way. But in modern accountancy firms, it's not always easy to create this winning business relationship. The dynamic of teams and how people has changed. The personal priorities of the younger generation of accountants have changed. Life outside of work and life balance are now a bigger priority than they were in the past. You see, in the past, we might have managed and driven people forward, whereas now we need to bring people along and we need to lead. Increasingly, accountants tell me that it's getting harder and harder to find good staff. The culture and leadership of your firm will help you attract what will become your greatest assets. You see, developing overall team performance, attracting and retaining talented staff, dealing with and sometimes managing out poor performers. And you see, sometimes it's not even about poor performers. Sometimes you could have staff and team members who perform well, but they're just difficult people. How do you get the best out of people to deliver the strategy that we have set ourselves? Once you have a team, you need a playbook to lead your team. Step-by-step process that you can follow to lead better. You see, this is not something that accountants are naturally talented or skilled at. Leadership and management is an area where a little bit of guidance can make a huge difference. And then, if you're a multi-partner firm, it's a whole different ballgame. Because now it's not just about an individual and an individual strategy or an individual leading a team, like in sole principal firms. It's about partners leading teams and somebody within the partner group leading the partners. Finances. This should be easy for accountants. Profit-focused reporting is critical to your success. What metrics do you need to capture? What information do you need to produce to know whether you're winning the game and whether you're delivering the results you need to? So what should your monthly management information pack look like, and what should be in there? Well, your P&L, your cash flows, projected versus actual, your budgets, projected versus actual, your debtors days, focus on slow payers, your outputs, who's billing what, who's making a profit and who's not, what clients are making a profit and what clients are not, where are your revenues coming from. We need to design an accurate and effective system that produces the information to put you in the driving seat. Far too often, this is put on the long finger or done in our heads. Cash flows. You see, it's not just about measuring the metrics though. Cash is the lifeblood of every business, and no matter what stage you're at in the development cycle of your firm, we need to develop effective credit control. Credit control is not just important for cash flow purposes, it's critical that credit doesn't become a hindrance to your client relationship. So credit control is really a customer care issue, and you need to take responsibility for the financial element of the relationship that you have with your clients. We need to design a relationship so once the fee element is agreed, it doesn't become an obstacle to good working relationships. You've developed your pricing strategy. We looked at that in marketing. We look them in the eye and we quote them in advance using a fixed price agreement. If things change or they don't do what they're supposed to do, we use a change order. This process should encapsulate our credit terms and policy, and everybody needs to do their bit. The whole process of collection should simplify the process using direct debits or standing orders with payment in advance. But if things don't go according to plan, we need to have clear strategies to deal with non-compliance. Finance is a pillar that needs to be worked at. Implementation and your strategic loop. You see, no successful business was built on good intentions. The greatest ideas in the world are only of value when they're acted upon. One of the biggest challenges facing accountants is taking action and implementing. We started with strategy. We looked at your purpose from a personal perspective and from a business perspective. Now, I want to ask you the following question. This is really important, so listen up. If we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you were looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress? You see, your answer to that question, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where your purpose and your clarity of purpose will energize, inspire, and motivate you to take the steps and do what is necessary to get the results that you want. Your action plan. One of the biggest challenges that accountants have is time. This whole process is about time and giving you back time and giving you freedom of choice. You heard me before, and you'll hear me again. There's no point in kidding ourselves. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it. And that's why I'm here to guide you on the journey. You see, we need to acknowledge that you are working in a busy business, client deadlines, client emergencies, it'll just keep on coming up. You need to put your business first and you need to prioritize you if you want to achieve a different result. That's about having a system that involves 90-day planning, 30-day planning, culminating in 14-day micro-planning. Planning on a group basis and planning on a personal basis. You and your team. You need to be realistic. You need to be focused. And you need to be ruthless in your no's. As Bill Gates says, most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but underestimate what they can achieve in 10. Prioritize. Build momentum by going after the wins. The quicker wins, they will have the biggest effect. Implementation, it's about personal effectiveness. It's about getting things done. It's about project management. It's about troubleshooting. We're continuing on this problem solution path. It's about organizational effectiveness, but it's about you having processes for success. And do you know what ultimately implementation is about? It's about choice. It's about you choosing what you do. Implementation sometimes is about accountability, where it can help to have somebody external to keep you on track if you're gone off your path. You see, ultimately, implementation is about learning. The real transformational difference between successful businesses and those that are somewhat successful and find themselves working harder than they should be is learning. It's about learning from your past victories. It's about learning from your past failures. What worked well and what didn't. Like, take a leaf out of the Navy SEALs book where they do after-action reviews. When something happens, they say, well, what went well, what didn't go well, what we do differently the next time. Ultimately, this is about change. Now, there's an 8-step process to create lasting change. Sometimes it requires an internal look, but that's ultimately what we're dealing with here. Look, some people say to me, oh, this is not for my firm, I'm too big, I'm too small, my clients are different, it's different in my area. I tried something like this before and it didn't work out. This work size doesn't matter. If you want something different, you need to do something different. As Tony Robbins says, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. This is worth the investment. You see, in this 3-part training series alone, if you cannot generate an extra 10,000 in profits on a 12-month basis by applying the strategies I've shared with you in these 3 videos, I'll eat my hat. Now, I've gotten some questions in from accountants this week about the whole area of marketing and sales. Some accountants say to me that this is just, it's not part of their persona. Do you know, if speaking and writing is not part of your persona, you know, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is about designing a marketing system that works for you. We build a marketing system that takes account of your strengths and weaknesses, your likes and dislikes. Remember, this is all about building the business the way you want it. You can set your own rules. You don't have to follow everything that everybody else is doing. You don't have to follow what the profession or the institutes have dictated and created. I've just shared a blueprint with you. It's about you making that blueprint work for you, making it your winning blueprint. You see, whether you're a multi-partner firm, a sole principal with staff, or a startup or solopreneur firm, this will work. We're all on a path. Startup to ramp up to scale up to lead on. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's not about where you've come from. It's actually not about where you are now. It's about the direction you're facing and the first next step. You see, for me, this is about freedom and choice. It's about creating freedom by having more time. It's about creating freedom by having more money. It's about creating freedom by having more choice. freedom by building a more enjoyable and better business. It's about making a difference, working with people that respect you in a way that they appreciate you, doing something you enjoy, with everybody making some more money and hopefully having some fun along the way. So, if you're ready to join me in taking your business and your lifestyle to the next level, I'm going to be opening up my Practice Management Mastery Program 2.0 in the next couple of days. I'd love for you to join me. So this is the way it works. It's a bit like a college class. We open up registration, we enroll a new class, then we close registration and start teaching. So we'll only be opening up for a very short time, and this is the only program of this kind that we're running this year. My next video in the series will be all about moving forward, and I'll have more details of the Practice Management Mastery Program and how you can get started. In the meantime, I would love to hear about you and your firm. Now that we've gone through the Winning Firm Blueprint, what does your future path look like? Scroll down and leave a comment. Hit the like button, but more importantly, leave a comment for me. I'd love to hear from you. Look, I know that accountants aren't huge on leaving comments, but maybe leaving a comment is something new to try today. So, I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now, see you soon again, and in the meantime, let's get it done.